Hey, good morning. Oh my goodness, I'm dragging today. It's 6:19. I have a condition, a syndrome. I don't know what it is. Before I had it myself, I used to make fun of people who claimed to have it because I thought that's not real. That can't possibly be a real thing. That's stupid. They're just faking it for attention. But then it happened to me. Let me tell you about restless leg syndrome. I got a little story for you today. I have a bad back. Who doesn't, right? I have what's called mild scoliosis, which is an unnatural curvature. Well, it's natural, it happens in nature, but it's not curved the way it's supposed to. The human spine is a gentle S curve from top to bottom, but the side-to-side axis of the S is front to back in the human body. Okay, so if your spine curves front to back, starting at your tailbone, it goes a little bit forward, then it goes backward at your shoulders, and then up to your neck like an S. That's natural. We all know that. You've looked at x-rays. You know your body. You know your bones. If your spine curves left to right, then we have a problem. I have an extra vertebrae in my spine, in the lumbar region. That's the bottom, above the tailbone, above the hips. And that's why I'm 6 feet tall instead of 5'10". But anyway, getting on the freeway. So that would not be a problem. A lot of people have an extra vertebrae in their spine. That's not a major deal. But the top of that extra vertebrae cants to the left instead of being level, thus inducing the mild scoliosis, curvature of the spine. So my lower back bends or curves to the left. So the muscles in the lower right quadrant are in spasm all the time, trying to straighten things out. In fact, there's a knot back there that you'd swear was a bone if you felt it under my skin. That's how hard it is. So that's why I say I'm in pain most of the day. Back pain generally. So it got pretty bad, the back pain, in the 90s. And in the late 90s, I started seeing a doctor about it. And because what happened was I was on my way to school one morning and I rear-ended a car at a stoplight because I'd fallen asleep at the wheel. And I told the doctor, I said, I am falling asleep all day, on and off all day. It's frustrating because I'm a classroom teacher. You know what I would do? I'd be reading to my students and fall asleep while I was reading. The drone of my own voice, like what I'm doing here, putting you to sleep. So he said, okay, let's get you to sleep. And that'll help. We can't change the curvature of your spine. We can't fix that, but we can make you sleep. So they put me on Amitriptyline. Let me say that again. Amitriptyline. you might be thinking, oh my goodness, that's an antidepressant. Are you depressed? No, I'm not depressed. I didn't take it for depression. One of the benefits of amitriptyline is it puts you into deep sleep and holds you down there. So you don't get REM. There's no very little, if any, dreaming at all. I didn't dream for a long time. I would take these pills at bedtime, amitriptyline. Oh, by the way, they started me at 5 milligrams. And by the time we worked it up to an effective dose, I was taking 100 milligrams a night at bedtime. And this would basically, I tell people, it would put me in a coma for like 6 to 8 hours. And so my body would not toss and turn all night because of my back, and I'd get the sleep I needed and wake up and take on the day. So the back pain continued, but I was getting sleep. Great. Well, after a few years of taking this drug, if I ever forgot to refill the prescription and ran out, for that like week that I didn't have the medication, I would have restless legs. And it was incredibly frustrating. And a terrible reminder to not run out of amitriptyline because, oh my goodness sakes, restless. And what is restless legs? It's a strong, well, I understand it's different for different people. And by the way, it affects women a lot more than men. But it's a strong compulsion to move your legs. You want to flex your muscles. You want to twist your legs. You want to straighten them out. You want to lift them off the mattress or off the floor if you're sitting down. And that's another thing. It doesn't just happen in bed at night. It can happen during the day, like if you're in the car for very long, or sitting at a meal, or sitting in a meeting, or sitting at your desk trying to do some work. It can just hit you. It's like, you just got to move. And like during the day, it's not a problem. But at night, when you're in bed and you're trying to sleep and you can't sleep, it drives me insane. Okay, got the picture? So then, 2018, right? 2018, yes. I went through the diabetes program at Next Advanced Medicine in Irvine, California. And hallelujah, I'm no longer diabetic. I was diabetic for 10 years. Type 2. So I'm no longer diabetic. I lost a crap load of weight. And I was in between jobs. I didn't have health insurance. So when my amitriptyline ran out, I could not get it renewed. And the doctors I was working with at Next Advanced Medicine said, oh, we don't do that. We don't do that. So I was out of amitriptyline and not getting a refill for the first time in 20 years. And they said, the doctor I was working with said, there have been some studies on the long-term effects of amitriptyline, and it's a contributing factor to Alzheimer's, which is diabetes type 3, I think. Type 3, type 13, something like that. And so, okay, well, that's great then to not be doing it anymore. But what about these restless legs? I can't sleep at night. It's driving me crazy. I mean, I want to go crazy. It's just bad. Okay, are you getting the picture on that? Oh my goodness, I've been talking for 10 minutes straight on my commute this morning, telling you the story. Anyway, we finally figured it out. How to? There's no cure. It has something to do with twisted basal ganglia or something like that. I don't know. Brain damage. But I take 3 ropenolol pills and 500 milligrams of magnesium. And I need to take it 2 or 3 hours before I go to bed so that it gets in my system enough that when I actually do go to bed, I don't have to fight these symptoms. But last night, I didn't get home till after 9 o'clock. I took my pills right away, and then I couldn't sleep till after midnight. So even taking Kirkland sleep aid pills, so hard. So there. Was that boring enough for you? Did I help you fall asleep? Because maybe I should play this for myself, help me fall asleep later. All right, that's my 11 and a half minutes this morning on my commute. I'm coming up on my exit, and maybe I'll throw something in from my day. Today was a better day. It was a minimum day. That's always a plus, right? Especially with the difficult kids. On Wednesday afternoons, we do sectionals with the band, 7th period, instead of working on music as a group or drilling out on the field. Wednesdays, we do sectionals. So I can sit at my desk and get some work done while they're working. And I don't have a lot to say on my afternoon report. I told a big story this morning. I think I remember doing something like that. I don't remember what it was about, but you do. You probably just watched it. Okay, I'm just going to sign off. Check you later, alligator.